Alrighty, folks, it is time for round one of Grand Prix Elseworlds, the final Grand Prix of 2025 and our annual Eternal Grand Prix. Here in round one, we're up against Silver Parabellum on Big Boros, red, white, mid-range, all of the goodies here at the mid to top end. This is going to be a pretty tough matchup. A lot of our main board is not really teched to deal with bigger things. Fortunately, our go-to removal spell just kills any creature or planeswalker, so we do have that ability to kind of reach and react that way, and fortunately our go-to removal spell does have functionality even if we don't have anything meaningful to remove. But our opponent's deck is going to be built to kind of go over the top of us, so we will want to kind of kill them before they can stabilize. So, they have 6 creatures in the main and 2 additional creatures in the sideboard, but all these creatures reach really high up there. And our opponent is in here, so we'll kind of make this deck tech really fast here. They're on a playset of Fury Hellion, 5-mana 4/5 with Tunneler, so it can open the tunnels when it enters, and then creatures can descend into the tunnels as they enter. And tunnelers can descend or exit as they untap, and creatures in the tunnels can only block or be blocked by others in the tunnel. So it's a form of evasion, gives us access to evasion as well, though. If they don't have anything in the tunnels, we can put our creatures in the tunnels as they come in. And when this enters, it's going to deal 3 to any target or exile target artifact or non-basic land. The land removal is going to be pretty painful there, but I think we will be able to withstand that by the time that starts happening. Otherwise, 2 copies of Offset Daemon. It's going to be able to pad their life total and just kind of chip us down over time. The flying is going to be really annoying, but fortunately it can't block, so we're going to be able to swing in pretty unfettered for the most part. They've also got 3 copies of Chromatic Shard, 4 copies of Shigani Mana Burns to help them jump up to 4 mana a turn ahead of schedule, which is also good to get them to a turn 3 Amaret Hope of Night, which is going to be able to start putting out 1/1s with Lifelink and Haste to be able to start chipping us away that way, or just blocking our creatures. There's also a -X to deal X to any target and gain X life, so it can pick off our things in that regard. There's also 1 copy of the 5-mana Amaret from Exalt of Twiltree, 2 copies of Illustrious Shang Fa from Boros. So some pretty strong planeswalkers here higher up on the curve. Sorceries are 2 copies of Realize the Delicate Ideal, and the big one is Terminal Impact. Just funnel a bunch of mana into this and then kill us, or it can just kill our things pretty effectively. There's also 3 copies of Fall of Elantian, so if they hit quad white, which I believe every single land in their deck taps for white. Yeah, every single land in their deck taps for white. So at 4 mana, they have a board wipe that just kills everything at instant speed. It's going to be pretty annoying, but that's where our recursion will hopefully be able to get them. And then 4 copies of Event Horizon to kind of pick off our things. So that is... Oh, and there's also, 4 copies of Drift Off as additional removals. There's going to be a lot of removal that we're going to have to fight through here. Some exile-based removal that's going to be pretty annoying, but some destruction or damage-based removal that we will be able to recur through. So we'll see how this goes. Alrighty. I rolled a 9. Opponent beat that. Opponent's going to get to decide player draw. Opponent's going to be on the play. Yikes. That is exactly the opposite of what I wanted to see. Opponent thought that they got the higher roll. I mean, these are cards that I would like to have in theory. Half-Heart's Claim, Glauna, they're going to be pretty effective in this matchup, I think. But, like, 1 land, I don't think we can afford to keep that here, especially when our other plays are Void Mist Prodigy pressuring Ghoul. Yeah, we're going to mold a 6. That's more like it. We can put a land away, keep 3 lands, keep Downtown Theater, Stark Expanse, and Primal Fissure. I think we'll tuck away the New Divide. Plan on playing Stark Expanse on 1 as just a tapped land. Opponent is going to set up their evil plan. Turn 1, Penthouse Office exiles the top card of their library as part of their evil plan. They can pay 7 mana as a sorcery to cast any number of cards from their evil plan without paying their mana costs. Not a mechanic we see too often in Eternal, but it's definitely one that is near and dear to my heart. and it's nice to see someone jamming some Evil Plan cards. We will get to untap, draw here. Another Void Mist Prodigy. So we do have 9 burst damage here in hand between Void Mist, Thorn and Trial, but I think we are going to be better off just running out the Glauna on 3. So we'll Void Mist Prodigy next turn. Probably pop it. Actually, is there reason to pop it? Yeah, we probably just pop it. There's really no reason to hold back on it. We'll untap and draw. Unburnt Maiden is a pretty nice draw here. We will go ahead and play Downtown Theater and get the train rolling. I'll ask if there's any responses to the enter trigger. I believe there's nothing they could do. Cool. Yeah, they're just gonna take the 3. Ye old Lightning Helix. Lightning Helix on a stick. Opponent's going to play Windbeaten Stones tapped. So just double checking their instance real quick. Terminal Impact, not an instant. They've got Fall of Volantian, Event Horizon. Neither of those things can check a Glauna here. So we're going to be in the clear to go ahead here and play Primal Fisher, crack it, view library. Let's go get... I think we get a Swamp here. So the question here is also, do we get Glauna in play, or do we get Unburnt Maiden in play? The punish for Glauna is that the opponent goes for Amoret Hope of Night, at which case they can pretty effectively kill Glauna. Actually, if they -2 Amoret to kill Glauna, then the imp we make kills Amoret, so that is fine. Because, like, if Glauna goes to our graveyard, we don't really care. We've got Thorn and Trial. It's actually tricky. Because we could also just go for Unburnt Maiden, get that rolling. This is a really good thing to get in play now rather than later. The longer it sits in play, the more value we get out of it. But this does, over time, also enable Event Horizon. That's also true of Glauna if Glauna sticks. So Unburnt Maiden is softer to Fall of Volantian. We're going to go for Glauna here. Opponent gives us the I did switch some of the printings of cards in my deck from when I did the deck tech to promos. There was some issues with loading the promo excursion arts from this month, but that bug has been fixed. They don't have the text like all adequately appended, so it's not going to track that like this is a black card that starts with a base loyalty. But it's fine. This is just kind of what I need it to be. So we'll just kind of ship on over here, see if they care to Event Horizon this imp. Presumably not. Though Event Horizoning the imp would be the way to protect Amoret if they go for land Amoret -2, kill Glauna. We see Windbeaten Stones tapped, 3 mana, drift off. They're going to drift off Glauna here. That is a-okay. So we're going to go ahead and set counters to 0 on her, because when she comes back, she'll be at 3. And we don't really have a way to get that back. Oh, no, we do. Half-Heart's Claim. I don't think we're going to Half-Heart's Claim right away, but that is something we have the option to consider here. Yaeji Resplendent Idol with enough things in play would be nice to get back Primal Fisher, but I think that's something we set up for this turn with Unburnt Maiden. So we Unburnt Maiden, make that warrior, swing 2. It's a very Duelist of Varro deck in terms of the top end. Like, Duelist of Varro, Hyperpop came out, like, joined the format right back-to-back. Hyperpop joined, and then I believe Duelist of Varro was right before Hyperpop, if memory serves. So playing Hyperpop cards alongside Duelist of Varro cards, alongside Karslav cards, like, we really are in this, like, stacked standard era of Karslav, Varro. There's just no Blood Like Rivers kind of sat in the middle there. Fury Call Hellion is going to come down here, presumably pop the Unburnt Maiden. They're going to exile Stark Expanse. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be annoying. I'm going to make a tunnel divider. They're keeping Fury Call Hellion out of the tunnels for now, so that way they can block Unburnt Maiden. We'll untap and draw. Yikes. Wow, that Fury Call Hellion play was really heads up there. Goodness gracious, that is unfortunate. Because if we had this third land, we could just kind of not care about losing the Unburnt Maiden, just run out Yaeji, get this Primal Fissure, and get our 4th mana source rolling. Whew. At the moment, though, I think this is not an attack trigger, so we're going to Void Mist Prodigy. I will sacrifice the Warrior token, keep the Prodigy in play, go to combat, swing 2, and pass. And so what this does is I now have a blocker for the Fury Call Hellion. I have Thorn and Trial up to get back the Prodigy in graveyard. If they have a second Hellion to kill another one of my lands, it's going to be really unfortunate, but we can't really help that if that's the case. 47 cards in deck. There is a pretty good chance they have not found the second Hellion, but pretty good chance is not guaranteed. That's 5 mana. 5 mana Amoret, which is only a 1-of, but it would also be really brutal here because they could blink the Fury Call Hellion. That is just the second Fury Call Hellion, my god. They're going to pick off another land here. I'm almost certain of it. Yep. That is profoundly rude. My goodness. Welcome to Eternal. I'm getting land destruction out of the game. We will draw a Plains is very good here. Can't be picked off by the third Fury Call Hellion. We are going to rumble in with the Void Mist Prodigy here, I think. Because if they block it, that is pretty free for us. I'm happy to kill the Fury Call Hellion, and if they don't... Okay. I mean, if we draw an untapped land on our next turn, we have lethal with Half-Heart's Claim. So I think we're going to play Plains. We are going to Thorn and Trial. Go to 29. Opponent goes to 4. And Half-Heart's Claim represents 6 damage. We can find the third untapped land. So Amoret Hope of Night doesn't really get there either. Temple of Origins is going to be tapped here. We'll see what they've got. 5 mana Amoret would be very unfortunate for us. Shigani Manor Burns is not going to cut it. Third untapped land. It's all we need to see. Opponent taps 2. Event Horizon. I'm not sure that matters unless, yeah, you're hitting the Imp. But I'm just going to keep the tunnels kind of divided like this for now. Because there are other creatures we could put into the tunnels. They have nothing they could do for 1 mana. Untapped land. Unfortunate, but we can kind of force the issue here. Hey, this is really a really awkward spot to be in with the opponent sitting on 6 mana plus treasure plus Shigani Manor Burns. They are going to be able to recover really quickly. Hey, man, the land hate part of this has been really unfortunate. Also, just, you know, a menace creature would be insane here because the tunnels make it so hard to put 2 blockers in the same spot, especially on a deck that they're on where having multiple blockers is just so few and far between. I almost wonder if I do force the issue. I think I have to. Yeah, they are going to trade Fury Call Hellion for Void Mist Prodigy. The upside there is that if they do hit the 5-mana Amaret, they cannot just stabilize by blinking both of the Hellions. But yeah, we're in a profoundly awkward spot here. Nothing to play. Let's see what they've got. SMB ticks up to 2. They can discard to exile top 2. Temple of Origins discarded. Reveal 2 lands. Penthouse Office could give them the 7 mana to pay. Could give them the second card in Evil Plan, and then they've got 7 mana available to their 6 lands and 1 treasure, so they could just play 2 cards off the top here. If this is a land and they hit a land here, we'll see what happens. Do they pay 7 for Evil Plan? Does that just obliterate us? Opponent is going to swing with Fury Call Hellion, which tells me that this is potentially a board wipe coming up here. Oh, no. Illustrious Shangfa is going to be a board wipe. Shangfa -4. Oh, -5, bring back Hellion. Oh, wow. Cash in Shangfa, get back Hellion. That is devastating. They're going to kill Unburnt Maiden here. Yeah, Maiden down. Pressuring Ghoul. That's not nothing. Because our opponent is kind of struggling to find the life gain that they need. They have ways of gaining life here, but they're going to need to find those ways of gaining life. All right. I mean, we're going to play Pressuring Ghoul. It's literally our only option. We could think about trying to start swinging at Thorn and Trial, but we do not want to put 5 damage in this when they're at 4 right now. It's going to be Pressuring Ghoul, and I think we're going to throw it... they have no way of blocking flyers, right? This can't block. These do not make flying tokens or flying blockers. Yeah. So I'm just going to put Pressuring Ghoul here so it can block if I need it to. Yeah. So we're going to pass. Hope no life gain from them. Hope we draw an untapped land or a Thorn and Trial at this point. Thorn and Trial would be great. Opponent swings 8. We take 8. Do we see the Evil Plan come out here? They've got 7 mana, 2 cards here, 2 cards in hand. Untapped land or Thorn and Trial or Void Mist Prodigy. Plenty of good draws here. Illustrious Shangfa is coming down. It could be a -4 play here. Destroy all creatures. Yeah, they are going to pop the creatures, kill Pressuring Ghoul. I mean, the tunnels stay open. Is there something about, like, it closes if there's no creatures? I don't know. We can consult a judge if that matters, but I don't think it'll matter for the rest of this game. Oh, at the beginning of each player's combat, if the tunnels are empty, that player may close them. Yeah, so I can close the tunnels at my second main. I think they benefit me to keep them open. I'll untap, draw. Still not quite there, my goodness. Come on. Not how I want this to be going. I know I'm on 23. I'm on 23 lands. How do I get away with playing 14 land decks and flooding, and I play a 23 land deck, and I am struggling to find lands between my first and second opening hands? Oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, big props to the opponent for recognizing that I was missing a land drop and just picking off my lands while they could. It has bought them time. We will play Melon Defense Attorney. I'm going to go Penwrath Insurgency because that lets me get through literally anything they have. And if I just top deck another Melon, it gives me the lethal with swinging the Melon that I have in play. So Penwrath Insurgency it is. Also just gives me hexproof and or can't be blocked by either of their colors, which is going to be pretty important here. So Shigani Manor burns, makes him a tapped treasure. Let's see what they have. See if they clear the tunnels on their combat. They're paying 7 mana. Evil Plan, Fall Volantin, and Terminal Impact. So they are just killing Melon and then burning Terminal Impact for 0. So that is not me being dead. Treasure's tapped. Just want to note that because it does represent a change to what they could have up here. Okay, 44 cards in deck. I have 19 lands I can draw, 2 Void Mist Prodigies, 2 Thorn Trials. So that is 23 cards. That is over half of my deck. Come on. Come on. Okay. Holy cow. Opponent says they flooded hard. There was the risk with the Void Mist Prodigy that opponent could have had New Divide to exile it in response to its enter trigger, but opponent had the land. Okay. As far as sideboard goes, I think Glauna is not quite up to par. I'm going to keep 3. I don't want to go down at all of my copies. I think Unburnt Maiden is going to come out here. It's just going to be a little tricky to make sure that this spirals out of control to the way I need it to. Pressure and Ghoul, really valuable there as just a bit of haste damage. I think I definitely want Looming Psyhawk. They're making a lot of tokens. I want to tell them no on making those tokens. Event Horizon does not seem that valuable to me. Let Them Eat Cake, definitely not. Absentia, definitely not. It is debating how many copies of Justiciar, Overseer I want to bring in. Flash and Flying is a really nice combination to really punish them. Justiciar really punishes so much of their removal being damage-based. I think I do want to look at Justiciar here. Maybe we go down 1 Ignited Soul. We go down... well, let's look at their sideboard and see what they might be bringing in. They've got triple Crucible, triple Golden Bloom. It's very likely that they bring in Crucibles here, just because we've got the recursive value here. So in that regard, maybe we go down Thorn and Trial, stay on Glauna, stay on the Ignited Soul, and then just acknowledge that Half-Heart's Claim still has text. Revolt of the Palace still has text. Yaeji still is just a 3/3 for 3. And we go up the more impactful 3 drops, because Thorn and Trial, while it was lethal there with Void Mist Prodigy, it is still worth noting that it is awkward in the face of a Crucible of the Burning Sun. We could not care so much because of Half-Heart's Claim, but because that can pick it off, but could be an argument for maybe looking at Event Horizon, but I'm not sure I care. I think I'd rather just be killing them. Yeah, so let's rock it like this. Let's just bring in our creatures, take out the Unburnt Maidens, and take out the Thorn and Trials. Rock it like that. Opponent's going to presumably be on the play. What's happening here? 2-lander. My goodness. I mean, there's a turn 1 Melon, turn 2 Pressuring Ghoul. I'd rather not play the New Divide turn 2 if I can help it, but we do get 2 draws. So there is a chance that we miss the Or not that we miss, that we get the second land before we have to play New Divide, and we can play New Divide the turn after pressuring Ghoul. I just really don't want a repeat of last game. I mean, if worst case scenario, repeat of last game means we win. I just don't want to get a repeat of getting screwed on mana and having our opponent remove our lands. I think I'm going to rock it, though. Opponent is going to commit to their evil plan once again. Really good turn 1 play in their particular strategy. We will draw Justiciar, Overseer, not a land. Uh-oh. Downtown Theater, Milan. We are going to pledge Penwrath Insurgency. Don't think they'd bring in Aspirant's Bane or All According to Plan. Maybe they brought in Deafening Clarion. I think Deafening Clarion and Crucible are probably the key two things that they brought in here. 2 mana for Shigani Manor Burns. That's pretty spooky, but it's not the death knell quite yet. Come on, other land. Come on, other land. Oh my god, 23 lands. So for context, the Emethrin Hoarder deck that I got deck lists with was on 17 lands, and I was flooding out quite a lot. Prior to that, that was me adjusting to previously playing Hoarder as 14 lands and flooding out a lot on 14 lands. Now I'm on 23, and I can't draw a third land for the life of me. What is happening? This is variance at its absolute utmost nonsense. Not Primal Fissure. Whoops. That's not an eligible hit. I saw the frame looking purplish and said, that's a swamp. That's not a swamp. We're going to go Pressuring Ghoul. And I think we're not going to waste our time holding up Milan. We're just going to get in here for 2. So Shigani Manor Burns now going to get them some value. Or specifically get them some card selection. You could pitch a land here if they're flooding out. They could pitch an answer that's not really necessary to what they're on right now. No discard to Shigani Manor Burns. They like the cards in their hand enough. They're going to take 2 to Windbeaten Stones. Amaret Hope of Night's going to be devastating here. Event Horizon. Are they just going to double Event Horizon me? Yeah. Exile both our creatures. Youch. Oh my god. This is just absurd. This is absurd. What is happening? That was a lot of life total changes for 1 damage. Oh my god. I'm gonna lose my mind. Opponent has done almost as much damage to me as I've done to them through just me shocking something in and taking Shigani Manor Burns damage. Second Shigani Manor Burns. Ooh boy. That does mean I'm in the clear still. Untapped land. Untapped land. Untapped land. Come on! This has got to be insane. I will say I did just realize that I was on 22 out of 44 draws that last game because I did Primal Fissure. But yeah, this is pretty ridiculous. And of course, I know if I ever get to Revolt at the Palace, I'm going to flip 6 lands. It's just going to be the way the world works. But we do have them to 11. Unfortunately, we're not out of this. We're in fact, a quite tricky spot here. Ah, Fall of Aluntin. Would you like to board wipe my 1/1? The Monkey's Paw. You get the land drop, but it's going to cost you a board wipe. Evil Plan number 2 is set up. I would have loved to flash out Looming Psyhawk or not even flash out, just like play Looming Psyhawk here, deny the treasure. Because they're mana screwed, denying the treasure would have been so valuable. 1, 2, 3, drift off, hit Pressuring Ghoul, sure thing. Come on, land drop. Come on, land drop. Holy crap, it's about goddamn time. Now we do the funny thing of doing nothing. Don't think about it. Ignore the flash spells in my hand. I'm gonna lose my mind if they go for the goddamn tunneler. If they get Fury Call Hellion here, I'm gonna go insane. Okay, drift off Terminal Impact. They can just shove 6 damage upstairs, but that doesn't really matter to me. I might just flash out the Justiciar for the sake of 3 damage. Being entirely honest. Oh my god, they have the Fury Call Hellion. Target on the stack. I just need the flyer. I just need something to chip in. Also, the tunnels are open. I'm assuming not in the tunnels, but... oh, whoops, no, it's Tunnel Divider. There we go. Oh, I guess it is a May. This is how often I play with tunnels, which is to say, only an Eternal. Opponent says no to keeping the tunnels open, which seems reasonable. It is better for me than it is for them. I draw another 3-drop. That is the downside of playing a deck that's built around 3-drops, is that I just keep hitting the 3-drops. Opponent's upset that they went mana flood into mana screw, but like, I don't know if that's fair. You got double Shigana mana burns. I think you're fine. Yeah, this is looking to be really bad. Oh, cool, that's a blocker for my flyer. They pass. I untap. I draw. I'm gonna go insane. At least it swings in pretty unfettered. Opponent is gonna... Oh. Do they seriously have the counter spell? Did they really board in all according to plan? That's pretty crazy. That is especially crazy to say to somebody that you've been mana screwing and then you're upset about getting not getting enough mana. That is pretty insane. No discards, so I think you're probably fine. God, this has been a rough match. We take 4. And then, yeah, Terminal Impact just kills us. Terminal Impact for 7? Yeah. Yeah. Terminal Impact for 7. Go ahead. Show it. Oh, not what I was expecting. Evil plan. I was expecting that to be Terminal Impact for sure. Amaret, Hope of Night, and Fall of Elantin. Cool. Youch. That sucks. Please not 65. Goodness gracious, this is miserable. Finally, we hit a Primal Fisher. We're just dead. Shigani Mana Burns deals 2 to us. Hamaret deals 5. I mean, we'll play the Primal Fisher. God. Yeah, no, they were fine. They were absolutely fine. We take 2. Amaret represents lethal. Offset Daemon. I mean... I'll get Swamp. Looming Psyhawk. Yeah, they did board in all according to plan. That is crazy. Oh my god. That was miserable. Okay. Okay, I see how it is. I will actually need Thorn in Trial, I think. It didn't look like they were looking to board in their Graveyard Hate. I'm just taking out Revolt at the Palace. This is a matchup where I'm never getting to 5 mana. Land. I mean, this'll work. This'll work. If it's gonna be a 2-lander, I'll keep the Exorcist of Errors. Opponent plays their own tapped land. We will untap and draw. 3rd land is great here. Exorcist. Show me your secrets. Reveal Event Horizon. Drift Off. Piles like that. I mean, if I look at their hand and they have 5 lands, I'm probably fine. Yeah. Because, like, if I hit one of their removal spells with Exorcist, then it just means they have to spend their mana on the other of the 2 removal spells. Holy shit! I think I've got some removal spells. What the hell? What the hell? Okay. Kill City, all right. I mean, if I take the terminal impact and I just never commit a second permanent onto the board, they can't get rid of the Exorcist right now. I'll take the most flexible of these and deny it from them for now. I'm gonna keep that in this here. Thing over there. Just want to track what they have. All right, so we know that they've got Terminal Impact under Exorcist, triple Event Horizon, double Drift Off, Dormant Crags. We're getting some justice here for everything I've suffered. I will draw Ignited Soul. So there is a temptation here to run out Pressuring Ghoul, but then they just drift off me. We're going to go Plains. We're going to go to combat. We're going to chip in for 2. We're going to pass. Event Horizon showing its weakness here. You can also just hide this. Opponent on the Mana Screw. Think about if we want to... Yeah, I'm willing to open up the Exorcist to Event Horizon here, because if they go Event Horizon on Exorcist, they are further off of dealing with Psyhawk, and then we can just Justiciar the Terminal Impact. Before it passes turn. I'm not sure I agree with that line here, but they are going to Event Horizon the Exorcist. So that is 1 Event Horizon down. Terminal Impact back in hand, 2 unknowns. We'll untap, draw. Swamp is good here. I really want to run out the Pressuring Ghoul, but I also want to hold up Justiciar, Overseer. We're going to play Swamp. We're going to play the Ignited Soul. Swing 2. Gain 2. Pass. Overseer ready to deflect the Terminal Impact here. Yeah. Opponent passes. Whew. We are getting some righteous vengeance here. I'm debating if I want to just Half Hearts claim pitch. If I want to just like Pressuring Ghoul. Pressuring Ghoul is actually not that important here at this point. Let's go to combat. Let's chip in for 6. We gain 2 on damage. I'm going to pitch the Pressuring Ghoul. I will draw a card. Primal Fisher. Main 2, we'll play that Primal Fisher tapped and go for a Half Hearts claim. Pass on over. Our burn getting to do its job. They can Event Horizon something, but if that's all they do with their turn, they are dead. Too little, too late, they found the 3rd land. Oh, Windbeaten Stones here to go to 3. They've got Offset Daemon, Fall of Elantin. Unfortunate. That was a very interesting series right there, but we do come out on top, 2-1. Well played to the opponent, absolutely bullying me for the non-basics that I had and the lack of lands I was finding. Very well played on my opponent's part. Just was able to kind of navigate through the squeeze in game 1, and opponent just had no real way to recover in game 3. The Exorcist getting to reveal the Mana Screw was a nice little treasure from the Exorcist of Errors there. Alrighty, well, that is going to be round 1 going to us. We are now 1-0. We'll see how the next rounds fare for us. In the meantime, if you're interested in checking out the format for yourself, playing Revolution Custom Magic, I promise not every game is as land screw and land flood heavy as this one. Feel free to check out the links in the description below, as always, to all your resources for everything Revolution Custom Standard and Eternal. We do have the next set coming up on the horizon, and lots of excitement on the way. So, as always, I hope you had a lot of fun. And I'll see you all in the next match. And until then, I'll see you all in the Revolution chat. Bye-bye.